invitation only. And the reason why I like those types of masterminds so well or so much is because the people in the group tend to be at a very high level. And so in the course of the last year or so, I've really learned a lot from Curt in the talks that he's given. There are a few very specific tactics that I'm hoping he might bring up in the call, and if not, maybe I'll ask him to share, that have made a big difference in my business as it relates to Facebook. And really what I asked Curt to do is to take a few moments to kind of walk through the process of how you set up a campaign. How do you structure it correctly, especially as it relates to setting up your survey funnel formula and running Facebook traffic to that. Before the call, we asked for questions, and Curt has all the questions that you submitted beforehand. A few more that came in at the last minute. And as always, please feel free to use the chat bar. If you have any questions that come up, I'll try to do my best to monitor that. And if there's anything Facebook related, this is your opportunity, because Curt really is the man. Curt, what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to turn it over to you. Maybe just give a brief introduction about you, your agency, all the numbers that you do, which is really astounding, and kind of what you do on a daily basis, and then we can just dive right in.
Cool. So actually, I have a presentation that has all this in it in the exact order that you just said, which is absolutely perfect. Could
not have been prompted any better.
Yep, there we go. So actually, you know what? Let's just do this, because I have all the questions. By the way, I'll answer those towards the end. And I always like to double check. Is my bandwidth okay? Can you hear me okay? Everything seems to be working okay on your end, Ryan?
I hear you loud and clear.
Awesome. All right, and I know it'll record well.
Yep.
Anyway. Okay, so let's dive into this. Let's go to this thing called the screen share, and it's not gonna do. All right, can you see my PowerPoint? Okay. Are we good?
We're good.
Awesome. So what we're going to talk about today is Facebook's what I like to call automated funnel conversion strategy. Sounds a little complicated at first, but I'm gonna dovetail this in. And then I actually been really busy the last couple of days, so I need to set up one of my campaigns. So I'll just set it up for you so you can see exactly how I do it. But I'm going to show you the why first, and then I'm going to show you the exact how. Because I really needed to do it anyway, so I figured let's just do it live and record it and everything. So. First of all, you said, Curt, will you go over a couple of your numbers? This is a physical product where you can see net. I won't really spend too much time on it, but you can see net. These guys are doing over $1,000 a day, and it's a physical product on Facebook. It really just comes all down to optimization. We'll talk about cost per click and cost per sale, what I'm looking for. But people ask me, hey, can we do $3,000 a day? Ryan, I know you work with larger clients. I mean, this is literally a guy working out of his house in Canada that sells a supplement for water filtration. The guy does really, really, really well. Here's 1,700 leads that we got for under $1. I'm going to show you exactly how we did it, but I'll tell you a little up front. I usually don't do this until the very end. These are all because of a survey. And what's really interesting is this guy really screwed up the survey process, asked like 32 different questions that didn't segue them into anything separate. Like Ryan, what you teach is absolutely amazing compared to what this guy did. So this guy literally got sub-dollar leads, and he could just predictably get them over and over and over for his business. Now, it doesn't mean he closed anything on the back end, but I mean, the survey was horrible. And I know what you teach, it'd be easy to refine that. You know, someone asked me the other day, they go, Curt, have you ever produced 1,000 leads in a day? Well, absolutely. Here's 9,000 leads that we produced. This is someone in the astrology niche in one day. And again, this all comes, all the numbers I'm showing you right now have all come from surveys. Same thing here. These guys have been in mutual masterminds with us. They're here in Austin. They're big on the YouTube, one of the biggest in the fitness niche. I'm sure you guys see this guy's ad over and over and over and over. Here's 13,000 leads we got all under $1. And again, it all prompted Ryan, which is funny. I'm going to tell you this now. We were in a mastermind together. Where were we at? Where were we at? We were at that house right outside of downtown.
Oh yeah, okay.
And you also talked on stage at the Internet Marketing Party, and you talked about surveys. Then in that mastermind, you talked about surveys again. So there was a guy sitting 2 seats from you who runs, I think you know who I'm talking about on YouTube, runs a very large YouTube business. And I'm like, we should do.
He's got good muscles.
Let's put it that way, yes. And I'm like, you should do 6 questions oh my God, that's made a huge difference in their business. And that was an idea, not following your exact process. I couldn't imagine what we would get if we followed your exact process. So, by the way,
That's awesome.
we didn't plan any of this. There's no setup. I'm showing Ryan these for the first time as well, too.
Yeah, I'm just as amazed as everyone on the call. I'm like getting excited just hearing this stuff. This is great.
It's good. So, this is just a campaign of someone who owns a blogging company. Basically, what they do is they show people how to blog. Well, what we were doing is a lot of people on Facebook, they focus on the wrong numbers. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that here in just a couple of minutes. But, this client was getting $2. I'm going to try to draw with my mouse. $2.93 a click, which is really expensive. I mean, they're losing $68 a day. They only made $3,700 net in February. These are kind of high, crappy numbers. Well, we changed it to a small little survey. And what we did is we hit one button called the conversion pixel I'm going to talk about. And literally you're going to see the exact same campaign, the exact same ads, the exact same everything comes up in 7 days. They're making $5,000. I mean, they made more money in 5 days than they did all the month before using this, what we call a conversion pixel. So it's going to be really interesting as we get into this. Now, I know from the questions, which I'll get to towards the end, there's people of all different skill levels here. So I'm going to start out with some of the basic concepts, make it really easy. I'm going to go to a little bit more advanced. And at the very end, I'll go over some advanced stuff very quickly. And then, of course, answer all your questions. There will be aha moments. Usually I'm looking for someone to say, damn, that makes a whole lot of sense. When I really start talking about the conversion part of the funnel, because I know that you can just drive a ton of leads, when we talked about the conversion part of the funnel to have Facebook do the conversion, man, for what you guys know with Ryan, like it'll rock it. All right. There's one button we hit and I show you how we drop basically the cost per sale that you'll see right here. Cost per sale of $122, running the same ad, same creative, same market, same everything. We hit one button and we drop that cost from $122 a sale to $56 a sale. And this was over a $10,000 test. So again, this isn't just another separate industry. All the industries I've showed you before, they're all separate industries. Again, this is something you can absolutely unequivocally apply to your business. Who am I? Spoke at the Internet Marketing Party, which basically means this. 2007, armed with my PhD. Ryan, did you know I have a PhD? Did I ever tell you that?
No, I did not know that. Tell me about it.
It's a public high school diploma. I didn't really have a whole lot of options after I lost my ass.
I knew I was getting set up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people are like, really? You don't talk like you got a PhD. And I'm like, wait till you hear this. So here's what happened. End of 2007, 2009, I was in a business with a couple of people, great friends, but I ended up in the NFL club. That is no friends left, no fun left, no funds left. And I just hated what I was doing. So 2010, I started with Black Box Social Media, and we started helping out local businesses. And then we went to this party, really where I met Ryan, is the Internet Marketing Party. And over the last 3 years, I mean, now just really the last 2 years have been just word of mouth to work with us. We work with celebrities, reality TV stars, professional sports teams. Some of you guys may know Mike Dillard. He's done over 55 million online, or a lot of people use Lead Pages. They're a client, or I guess I had this in here, Mike Chang from Six Pack Shortcuts. We work with the San Antonio Spurs, real estate gurus, authors, speakers, physical products, pretty much. We've run 34 different verticals, I think. So all the strategies I'm going to give you can work for any type of industry as well, too. One of the things is just going to jump right on into this here is we always tell people to verify their avatar. And I can answer questions around this towards the end, but we always tell people, who's the exact customer you really want to attract? What is your exact marketing avatar? Who do you really want to do business with? Not just saying 18 to 55-year-olds and anybody who has money, but who do you really want to hang out with? Who do you want to have as your customer database? If we tell people it's good to run a like campaign, not for likes on your page, but it's good to run a like campaign. It'll help you verify your avatar. Like you can tell Facebook, go out and go get me likes, and Facebook will go out and get you likes on the page. I don't really care about the likes on the page, but Facebook actually has a report that you can see, and it'll break down, and I'll show you here in just a couple minutes, but it'll actually break down the age and the gender of the people clicking on your ads. So you can figure out who you want to hang out with. Now, one of the great things that I know that you get through Ryan too is that process of getting them through the funnel and gathering some leads as well too. So any leads that you have, any email addresses, this is great. We do this for all of our 7 and 8 figure clients. We upload their audience. That is their email list. Your email list has to be at least 1,000 people big to upload it, but you can upload an email list, customer phone numbers, previous buyers, just opt-ins, whatever works for you. Let me show you. A lot of people don't realize this. A lot of people think that, hey, they know who their avatar is, but there is a place when you go in the back of your, right here. When you go in the back of your ad manager, you just click on ads, right? And what happens, there's a little button called Audience Insights to the left-hand side. Now you can use Audience Insights even if you don't have a list. See, what happens is you can type in keywords right here, for example. So you'd select, we already have the United States, right? Select the age range for your avatar, type in 1 or 2 interests, and Facebook will break down the demographics for you. It'll break down the age range for you of who likes that keyword. It'll tell you other pages that they like as well, so you can figure out where your marketing avatar is hanging out at. You can see what your competitors are posting as well. You can see physically what location, what city or country they're located mainly in, what other activity they have. Like literally, like what do they like to purchase online? What have they purchased in the past? Even household income. Are they renters? Are they home buyers? Facebook will give you all of this information either based on either A, the interest that we have down over here, or B, you uploading your list. You know, Ryan, it was interesting. One of our clients, they've done really, really well online, but they're like, Curt, we're going to come out with this credit report. We think, because they're in the financial niche, and they go, we think that this credit report's going to do really, really, really well. And I go, you guys have made 15 million in the financial niche. And they go, we think the survey is going to do well. It's aimed at 35 to 45-year-old males. And I go, but 90% of your sales has been made by 55 plus male baby boomers. They're like, but I really believe this product will work. And I'm like, that's really interesting, because all of your stats right here basically say that you're going to try to market to a product that has not been very successful in your sales. Like, it just hasn't. So really define your avatar. We tell people over and over, really sharpen your axe before you start up ads. Because what happens is you can even click on this lifestyle button down over here, and it will tell you, they have some weird stuff in here like platinum oldies. It's what they classify the lifestyle as. And it's all basically comes from this data source right here, if you guys can all see that. But basically what is it? They'll tell you, they go, these are people who are retired, who have done very well in life, who typically live in urban areas, they typically enjoy. They'll physically give you a profile of what your list is made up of and or the keyword that you want to target. You can really get to learn a lot about personalities and who you're targeting. And when you create your ads that tell a story or you're targeting a certain personality, it works perfect for your survey funnel as well too.
Yeah, one of the things I like about this, Curt, which is just it's another layer of data that when people go through what I describe in my vernacular as the deep dive survey, which is the open-ended survey question to figure out, what is the burning problem, the big objection, what is it that your market wants to solve? Well, along with that data, sometimes we'll also ask some demographic data like your age and gender. But even if you don't ask those age and gender questions or other demographic questions, once you get 1,000 responses to that survey, that deep dive survey, you can take that data, upload it to Facebook, and then you let it questions. You can layer on top of that stuff and everything that we teach. So I think that's really smart.
And I appreciate that. So here's what's really interesting that you just said. My assistant walked in and brought me something this morning. Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Every great person should have a great assistant. Isn't that right, Ashley? I just got breakfast tacos and coffee. Right, all for you. You guys wanted me at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I think I missed breakfast. And she's like, I got it taken care of. That's awesome.
Oh, man, that's awesome. Well, thank you, Ashley, because I know we wouldn't have Curt. A hungry Curt could not have it, so I appreciate that, man.
Yeah. So what's interesting is what you just said with your vernacular, and for me, there's a small little bandwidth issue, so I caught most of it, is what's really interesting is you said with 1,000 survey responses. So you're exactly right here as well, too, is with 1,000 people uploaded to a list, you'll be able to check out what are the demographics of people, even the people who responded to your survey. But when I talk about the conversion pixel here in just a little bit, you just have to get 100 people past your goal. I'll define what the goal is in a moment. But you just have to get 100 people past your goal, and then you can flip a switch, and Facebook will literally send you people that are very similar to those who crossed the goal line. And that's really the whole purpose of really figuring out your avatar, getting people across that goal line as fast and as accurate as possible. Because if you really sharpen your axe in the very beginning, you can really get Facebook to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. So let me show you how this works.
Cool.
So what we do is if you have a list, upload your list. It's just a nice little shortcut. Upload your list. It'll create a custom audience. And there's small videos that I can send you. Just write it down if you have a question on it, and I can walk you through how to do a custom audience. I want to go through this pretty quick. What we do is we have clients upload their email list, which is a custom audience, and then we look at all the demographics. So what we do is we'll take all the demographics, and we'll find out what keywords they like, and we'll start typing in the interest. So let's just say for my market, social media marketing, right? I'm going to put in my list. I'm going to find out that they're 35 to 55-year-olds. Okay, so I'm 35 to 55, right? And keep in mind, like I said, I'm drawing with my mouse, so I look like a 6-year-old. And I'm going to take a look at my age. I'm going to lock up my age, right, according to what my list is. And I'm going to scroll down basically this bar right here, and there's other options. I'm going to start selecting these options down here that are congruent with like the lifestyle or with any of the purchase activity. So basically what I'm doing is my custom audience will give me all the data. I'm only going to take the data that's most relevant. Like for instance, in my case is 35 to 64-year-olds. And I'm going to change the range 35 to 64-year-olds. Then I'm going to take a look at their purchase habits. And then I'm going to put down here, I'm going to fill in their purchase habits. Then what I'm going to do is my keyword is social media marketing, right? I'm going to type in social media marketing, and then I'm going to remove my custom audience. So what happens now is I'm only laser targeting people who look like they're on my list for the people who are inside this keyword.
So I just want to, I'm just going to restate a few things to make sure that's crystal clear for people on the call. So on the right-hand side of the screen, the 2/3 that you see here, and this will give you a chance to take a few bites out of your breakfast taco. On the right-hand side of the screen, this is what your audience looks like when you upload it to Facebook. So this is all the demographic data, and you've got demographics, you've got page likes, you've got location, activity, household, purchase, everything that you see on that horizontal bar. So what you're then doing is you're taking the relevant data from your audience, and then you're going over to the left-hand side, and you're changing the selections around each of those parameters so that you're going. So now what you're going to do is you're going to target people. This is setting you up to target people on Facebook who are similar to the people who have already raised their hand and said, yes, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of your business because I've taken a survey, I've purchased something from you, I've opted into your list, etc. And then you get rid of that top thing where it says custom audience at the top, and now you're able to target people who are similar to the people who have already expressed interest in your business. So I think if I've misrepresented anything there, please tell me, Curt. But I'm just reframing it from rephrasing it to make sure that that's crystal clear, because I think it's an important process and point. I just want to underscore it.
Yeah, you eloquently. You did awesome. Absolutely. And
What's next?
What's interesting is it's really quite easy to do. Most people just skip over the whole process. So one of the things that we do is we tell people, hey, look, run some likes, because you can actually click the button that says go get likes, go get more likes for a certain keyword. And what you'll find is you'll start finding people clicking through on your ads. You'll be able to find out a certain level of interest where you're able to run a report that will go in, again, to that gender and location. So what happens is we figure, okay, I'm going to look at a couple of my competitor sites. I'm going to see what else my avatar may like, right? And I just found that out through the insights. Well, now I got to get content up in front of them on a regular basis, right? And what I'm going to do is, especially starting out with ads, I've gotten likes, I know my avatar. Now I'm going to maybe write a blog, maybe put out a video. I'm going to write some piece of content that I'm going to put on the fan page, and I'm going to hit that button called Boost Post. It's right at the very bottom, right whenever you have a business page. What happens with a Boost Post is your content will get in front of the people that you attracted over with your likes. So as a typical sales funnel on the left-hand side, the attention really is the likes or your list that you already uploaded. Your attraction is as you post on the fan page, even let's just say if it's once a day, as you post on the Facebook page, you want to figure out what is attracting your avatar to engage with you more than any other post. What will happen is if I post once a week, I will find out what the most popular post of that week was. You can find out on your page insights. Again, I can answer questions on this in the end. What happens is you take your most popular post and you turn it into a test ad. It's what we call a boost post. Click the button on your fan page as soon as you post something that says boost post. Boost it for 3 days, not the 1 day default. Change the default to 3 days. And at Ryan, what ends up happening is your audience sees more of your content because you promote one post a week. And typically, we find the most popular post and we turn that into an ad. We use the same image, change the copy a little bit. Now we know that our avatar, what they like, what they read, what they engage with, the stuff that they engage with, we turn into ads. And then we start to scale where it goes to marketing, sales, raving fans, and high ticket sales. Does that make sense?
So it does. So we kind of throw spaghetti on the wall, so to speak, come up
Yep.
with maybe a new post every single day for a week.
Yep.
At the end of the week, look back and say which post got the most likes, the most shares, the
Mm-hmm.
most comments, and that's an indicator that that's content that's resonating with your audience. So
Mm-hmm.
then we take that one and we decide to invest a little bit of money in advertising to advertise to that post specifically, and we do that by boosting the post.
That's it. That's exactly right.
Cool.
And that just really
Cool.
gets the foundation to start running ads.
Cool.
So when you get in the back of Facebook and when you're back in the ad manager, I usually spend a little more time if we had a couple of hours, which we don't. Like this is a full-fledged training. By the way, Ryan, I didn't tell you this. The training I'm showing you is the training that I gave people when I went to San Diego 4 weeks ago for a mastermind that people paid $25,000 to go to in the personal development niche.
Wow,
So,
man, this is awesome. Well, I super appreciate. I mean, like, I know you're doing me a huge favor by doing this, and I really appreciate you sharing this. So, thank you.
yeah, we wanted to blow you away with content because one of my guys in the office, he's like, I really love Ryan's stuff. I have maybe a question for him. And I go, okay, we'll over deliver, then we'll ask him a couple of questions of our own later.
Who is it? Is it Herbert or is it someone else?
No, it's Zach Collins.
Is it Herbert or is it someone else?
No, it's someone else, Zach.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah. So here's what happens. Here are
Cool.
all the different options that Facebook currently has at the very first level of ads. We like to call this the ad manager. And this is literally going to your fan page, hitting the green button that says run ads, and it'll take you to a screen that says, what do you want to advertise? Now, really important to keep in mind, when you do a boost post or when you advertise for a page post engagement, this is really to build your brand. And that's it. You're not going to get hundreds of thousands of clicks to your website, but you're going to keep your content in front of your subscribers, which I like to take a look at. A like on my fan page is kind of like a soft opt-in, right? But as I boost a post, it's like throwing that spaghetti at the wall. It's kind of figuring out, okay, are these people going to like it? I mean, it's already seemed to be popular for the week, but remember what you're really working on is branding, right? You're finding out what your people like and branding. Again, page likes is the exact same way. It's really a branding play. So just remember the first two options that Facebook gives you is really a branding play. Well, clicks to website, Facebook will actually target people who have a high probability of clicking through your ad to your website. So this is really the whole part of your funnel, right? So if I was to set up a new survey funnel, the first buttons that I would hit when I start testing ads is I'm going to send as many clicks as I can to the website. And then it's going to start to filter out, right? People are going to start going through the funnel. They're going to start doing their thing. They're going to start crossing these goal lines that I mentioned before. But I need to send as many people to the website as possible at first, at least a couple hundred, to get some verifiable, quantifiable information, right? But this is where the branding turns a little bit more into let's start working on that funnel. Now, really, almost all of our ad strategies is built around this right here, website conversions. So imagine you had someone coming to your survey funnel, and I'll draw out an example of this in just a moment. But let's say someone comes to your website funnel and you said, you know what, I want to know people who answer after 3 questions. Like there's a goal that you have there. Maybe it's a 297 product, or maybe you have, I don't know, let's just say you want to know when people pass that goal line of the 3rd question. And
Right.
you want to know when people pass the goal line of the 6th question, because that's when they buy. What happens is after you get 100 website conversions, and I will walk you through this, after you get 100 website conversions, goal conversions, you can say, Facebook, go out and find me other people in Facebook who are out there who closely resemble the people who cross the goal line of my third question. Once you get a bunch of people passing that third question and more people start buying, then you flip the switch and say, Facebook, you've been monitoring all the buys that I have. Go out and find me the profiles that closest resemble my buys. So if you are targeting very closely your buyer's list, your perfect avatar in the beginning, you're going to see how much easier it's going to be for you to send literally website clicks because they're already pretty qualified. And because you're sending a website clicks from an ad that you created because of a post-page engagement, these are all different layers. So you've defined your avatar, you've gotten page likes, you've put in a post in front of them. Now you're going to start using that post to send clicks to the website because you're going to turn it into an ad. You're going to get people past this third layer and the final layer. Now we're going to start being able to tell people, or tell Facebook, go out and do all the hard work for me because I've had enough people to quantify past your conversion pixel or your conversion code to go out and find my perfect audience. Now, you can use the same thing with apps installs, event responses, offer claims, these things right here. I'd go in this whole long thing about blah, 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 blah. How about this? I spent $7,000, made 3 sales of $2.97. So if you would like to test it on your own, you're welcome to do so. Offer claims, they look pretty, they sound pretty, they don't work. Any questions here?
Can I ask a dumb question? The conversion pixel for Facebook, does the originating traffic source need to be from Facebook, or can we use the conversion pixel just...
Unfortunately, it has to be from Facebook because it's the only way that Facebook can tie in a profile. Yeah, otherwise there'd be privacy issues.
Okay.
So yeah,
right. And it has to be from a paid ad, correct? So in other words, if you have like an organic post that, you post something, just real example, you post something on your personal profile, you put a link to your site, someone clicks on the link, they end up buying, and then they've, reached your thank you page with the conversion pixel. Doesn't matter. Has to come from a Facebook ad, correct?
No, you can actually. That's really interesting. There's a hypnotist that I'm working with now. Super brilliant. What they're going to do is it doesn't have to come from an ad. It just has to come to Facebook, so Facebook can track the profile, what's going on.
Right.
So you won't. So for instance, on your personal profile, let's say you are running a promotion. You put a link in your personal profile, and in your personal profile, you can hit the little button that says promote for like $7, gets seen by all your friends. Now, you won't see the conversion pixel track anywhere, but you will see if you look in the back of your ads manager at the conversion pixel, you will see it's looking at traffic. So you could promote on your personal page a link that Facebook's tracking to monitor your traffic. You won't see the stats, but it will be gathering data on who your perfect customer is.
Right. You will not be able to then use that as a custom audience, though, correct? Or would you be able to?
I mean, here's the thing is you could, but that just means that you're going to try to get 100 people to click on your link and go through your process. You're going to be able to do that a lot faster with ads in a day than you would with a personal post. Yeah. So in theory, it would work, but it's a much longer way to get there.
Right. That's great. 2 other questions that came through, and if it's more appropriate to tackle them in Q&A, just push back and we'll do that. One was with these content campaigns, and we might just be getting ahead of ourselves here. Are we only running these through Facebook directly, or are we? Is this multi-channel with with a blog, with Twitter, with maybe YouTube, all sending people, or is that a topic that we'll get to?
Remind me towards the end, and I'll walk you through the exact process that we have that I actually got from Ezra Firestone. It's made a huge difference in our business. I'll show you exactly how we do that. That's a great question. But yeah, great question.
All right, my friend. Carry on.
Awesome. So there's really, and then we're introducing more and more, there's really 4 different types of ads that we run more than anything else. And it's this link preview ad, which was only found in the Power Editor. And you're going to see me log into Power Editor in a moment. This is where we run most of our ads from. I'd say probably 80%. And a link preview ad is just, it's a picture that you upload. You have a small statement, small hook, and then when they click on the picture, they're taken directly over to your site. So again, this is where most of my traffic's run. And I'm going to give you a breakdown of how we split test out the different types of ways that you can run ads on Facebook. Now, what we're seeing right here is really unique. So, Ryan, you should see my face continuously in the
Yep.
Austin area for the last couple of days. We are hiring people. So, what we found with video is really interesting. We get low cost per clicks, but we also see low cost per opt-ins. What we're seeing is before 4 months ago, running videos, lots of people would watch the video and a couple of people would click through to the site. About 2 months ago, lots of people would watch your video and that's all that they would do, which doesn't really help us marketers. Now, what we've been seeing is a lot more people are consuming video content and taking action. So you can actually optimize for video views now in the back of Power Editor. Well, what we found for video, and again, I've done this with an iPhone, you can do it very low cost, and I'm going to show you the whole structure and how we run this, but we use video to build rapport with our customers. So if I spend 80% of my money advertising my product, I'm going to spend 10% of my budget putting a video in front of the same audience. This is me walking through my office, what we call the bunker in Austin. But people see my ad, they see a video of me, and then I retarget, which we'll get into in a minute as well. I retarget a testimonial. So people are like, well, I've seen this social media ad genius. Man, everybody's talking about it. Oh, and I just saw a tour of Curt's office. That rapport building process on Facebook, because people are constantly engaged with us, it does a huge difference for our business versus just running one ad the entire time, right? People want to be exposed to multiple forms of content. Now, you can do the same thing with a picture. I like to use this little logo over a guy all the time. You're going to get a lot of clicks to the picture, not always to the website. So remember, this is also a branding play. Now, the right-hand side ads of Facebook, a lot of gurus say stay away from the right-hand side. The right-hand side ads are getting just about as big as the news feed. They're rewarding people for getting out of the news feed. Always make sure that you're split testing. Make sure that you're definitely split testing right-hand side ads. But the major ads that you're going to want to run is link preview, again, found in Power Editor. There's a lot more advantages when you go into Power Editor, which I'll walk through. Videos are great for branding, establishing rapport. I got a question from someone in the insurance business. These are great videos of, here are the top 10 most frequently asked questions we get about whatever, or and these are, when I say top 10, these are each individual videos. Or if you're going to do business with someone who's creating a survey funnel, here's a couple of things that you need to be aware of that you should be asking that person before they build your funnel, right? So what are the top 10 most frequently asked questions that people should be asking before they purchase blank, right? It's a great rapport building video. Well, here's what ends up happening. You just constantly have to split test out, figure out what image works best for you. I'll tell you in the last 30 days what's working best for us in the order of performance. It would be 1, link preview, 2, video, 3, right-hand side. Again, always be testing.
Picture's not doing that well.
Yeah, it just depends on what you want to do. You know, like if you have a special live event that's going to happen in 2 days, yeah, get that picture in front of everybody. But if you're looking just to get as many opt-ins as possible, picture probably not as much.
Right.
So what happens then is basically this. So we've narrowed down our age for our avatar. We've figured out where they're located at. Always start, by the way, with one country and then expand out. Don't ever run a campaign where you're targeting multiple countries unless you're retargeting your same audience. Other than that, Facebook wants to be very specific to say, I'm only going to target people in the US, then I'm only going to target people in Canada. It's going to help a lot with this conversion pixel you'll see in the example. So we know the interest that our people like, right? We do have general interest, which essentially Facebook inside will give you general interest that you can target. And this is basically people who are pre-qualified to like your products and services, people who are already interested in certain topics, right? Well, what's interesting is Facebook also has what literally nobody else has, is these partner categories. Now, what happens is when people use, those saver cards that you get like at a gas station or a grocery store, those saver cards, those credit card receipts, it's all aggregate data that Facebook says they do privately, which is interesting. They actually can identify people's offsite habits, so you can target people who buy office supplies, people who buy office marketing, people who buy green smoothies, people who buy baby clothing, people who have a high probability of buying online versus offline. So if you really get laser targeted on your marketing, now what we can do is we can go look at their offsite habits. Well, once we send them through this conversion pixel, like literally once you start running ads and you're getting really good at ads, you pretty much are just focusing on this. All this stuff really is foundation. I mean, once you know the age of your avatar, that's not going to change much, right? Once you know their interest, heck, you can keep on targeting the same people over and over. Here, watch this.
Right.
So since Facebook will actually do all the profiling for you, here's what we call optimization targeting. Now you can tell my business partner did the other slides, and this is my fancy slide, right? I always say this when I speak, and I'm like, my business partner Nick does great design. I put one slide in here designed by me. I'll give somebody a prize if you can identify it. People, that's pretty easy. Here's what we're going to do. This right here is my avatar. Here is the ad I choose for my avatar to see. When I first set up my funnel, this is the landing page. I'm always going to put on a retargeting pixel on my landing page. Always. Okay? Next, after my opt-in, we call retargeting pixels or cookies, right? I'm like, I like cookies. Let's put cookies in here. I'm always going to add 2 pixels to my opt-in thank you. One's going to be retarget. One's going to be conversion. Okay, so I know when people go through the opt-in thank you. When someone watches my VSL, I'm going to put 2 pixels. Again, one's going to be conversion. One's going to be retargeting. Because if someone watches my VSL, I'm going to make sure that the ad that they see is a testimonial. See, what happens is as we place these little bits of code and they go in the header of any website, or we use a lot of lead pages, what we do is we put 2 cookies on each page. Now keep in mind, let's say that you're selling insurance, right? You don't have to have a life insurance, car insurance, homeowner's insurance pixel. You can have one, but we want to get as many people through your funnel as possible. Because see, here's what happens. Each time that your avatar passes a pixel, they are tagged. You don't have the phone numbers, you don't know who they are, but they're tagged. Facebook already knows how many people, because I put the conversion pixel here, how many people pass through this pixel. Now let's just say this one will make a round circle, right? Facebook can see, okay, these people saw my VSL, they're tagged, they see my cart page, right? Or my favorite one is, of course, what all you want as well, is the order page. And we want Facebook to track all of our orders, right? Which is funny. I bought a little pen to help me draw this, but the pen works worse than the mouse. So that's why it helps explain my PhD. All right. So we put all the pixels in place, right? Now here's what has to happen. The first thing that we want to do is we want to run as many people through this landing page as possible. Right? I know some people are going to opt in, but I need to run as many people through the landing page as possible. And the reason is because I want to season this pixel as much as possible, because I'm looking to really get people to my thank you to eventually get them to my order, right? So when I first set up a campaign, we talked about likes, we talked about engagement, and then we find out our most popular post, and we are going to optimize per website clicks, get as many people to the website as possible. That will start the filter process of getting the avatar that's going through your funnel, passing through these pixels. Does that make sense? What happens is
can keep going, because this is like the critical thing that I've learned from you, and I want to make sure everybody on this call live understands this, so that way when we do the recording, everyone who watches the recording is also going to understand this. So keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's what happens. Now we got a bunch of people through our funnel. Now what's happened is we have over 100 people versus the 1,000 that we talked about from the funnel before, right? 100 is your goal. So once we have 100 people that hit the landing page, hey, Facebook, do me a favor. Go out and find people that are just like my profile. Go find the people who are close to landing on my landing page. And let's be honest, landing page is kind of warm traffic, right? They at least got to that point. But what's really cool is Facebook, go out and find me my opt-ins. Go out and find me people that are very similar to my avatar that's going to be the opt-in. Well, obviously what's cooler is finding people is once you get 100 sales, is getting 100 people to pass that pixel, and that's where Facebook will go out and find you similar sales traffic. But there's one thing I'm going to do to close the loop to show you where Facebook will literally do all the hard work for you. So the first hard work you have to do is get people to the top of your funnel. And then you got to get people as they're opting in. And people will slowly start to buy. But Ryan, I've used by the way, I stole one of your lines that you posted on Facebook too about people treating their business like a hobby, basically. And people, you invest in McDonald's, the million or
Right.
$500,000 cash, right?
Right.
People will tell me, they're like, Curt, I spent $20. And I'm like, you got 7 people to your landing page. And they're like, but I didn't make any money. And I'm like, you're not igniting Facebook's most powerful option. Like, you're buying data. You're not
Right.
wasting money. So
Right.
it's really only the people that understand. By the way, what I'm showing you here is not written anywhere. Facebook doesn't talk about it, but I learned it from Facebook. When I went to Facebook and said, Facebook, you SOBs, you have a conversion tracking pixel that does not track conversions. And Facebook goes, oh yeah, that's a conversion tracking pixel. That does not track conversions. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm an internet marketer. I'm used to tracking conversions. If it's called tracking conversions, I would. She goes, no, it profiles your audience for you. I'm like, well, that makes so much sense. This is in the terms of use or the help documents you guys have, right? She goes, it's really not written anywhere. And I'm like, and I will take this to the world and make a lot of money with it. By the way, I saw this girl, right? I didn't tell you this. There was an event here in Austin with Facebook. I saw this girl. Her name's Katie. I met her at South by Southwest in March. I walked in with 11 employees, all wearing T-shirts of Social Media Ad Genius. And she walked up to us,
Right.
and I go, by the way, I have a binder of 20 questions that have been unanswered through Facebook and support tickets, and we don't understand your policy and procedures, so we wrote our own. Katie, because you're one idea, everything I'm showing you here, guys, I have an office downtown Austin now, 11 employees. Our business is just going crazy on our product side and the joint venture stuff we do and the client stuff we do, all because of this conversion pixel strategy right here. I mean, the last 6 months of just, well, March, April, May, June, July, August, 5 months, it's revolutionized our business unequivocally. So let me show you how this works.
That
Go ahead.
this is the huge thing that I learned from you. So into this, like, I'm gonna ask clear everyone's mind. This, if you get one thing from this presentation, because whenever I attend something, I'm always like, what's one idea take? And
Yep.
you just take one thing from this whole presentation. This is it right here. Okay, so pay close attention, continue to pay close attention, because this is a huge thing. And with the exception of Curt's personal clients and maybe a few people that have been in private masterminds with him, nobody is doing this.
Yeah.
This is a huge opportunity. So carry on, my friend. I'm so excited.
By the way, this works with like Teespring shirts. This works with digital products. Like, it doesn't matter as long as you pass the people through, right? So one other thing that I'm going to jump into my ad account. So you can upload custom audiences. So we're going to talk about retargeting. Like, once they've already seen your message, you got them. Like, once they get inside my net, they're going to see my ads and my content. They're always going to see me, right? Until they buy or die or turn off Facebook, one or the other. But a custom audience is something I can upload. So I supply the list, right? And you get list brokers. It's emails and phone numbers. You're going to have a higher match with phone numbers. But we have clients upload their custom audience for any of the customers that they ideally want to target. Don't ever use a scraper. If someone says you can scrape a fan page, don't ever do it. It's kind of like putting a nuclear bomb in your business. If anybody scrapes a page, no matter if they have 5 million fans, I tell them to start over, because it's going to ruin everything with the conversion pixel strategy. So just don't ever buy a scraper or use any scraped information. Facebook's going to create audiences for me based off the little pixel that we're going to put in. So when people pass certain goal lines, we're going to make sure that they're seeing different ads. Okay. So before I jump in the ads, here's my ad example. If I was going to spend $100 a day on ads. So I would spend $5 a day on a like campaign, because I always want those soft opt-ins, right? Maybe. I mean, when I'm spending a couple $1,000s a day on my own ads, I get likes from people who who see an ad over to the right-hand side, go to my fan page, like my fan page. So I always want to be attracting. By the way, super important, write this down. Facebook now is all built into momentum. Starting an ad for a week, shutting it down to look at it for a week, to start the ad back from a week, you might as well just start all over again. Even if you have to turn it down to $5 to $10 a day, the momentum behind the algorithm, and I don't know why it is, but you can definitely see a difference. So one of our biggest problems with clients, and we tell clients this, is they'll get up and test something and they'll like, oh, my 4th question of my survey is broke. I need to shut down all traffic to fix it. No, you need to jump in right now and fix it, or turn your traffic down and run like an engagement post, but you always have to be running traffic. So we maybe have a $5 like campaign. We got that engagement because I'm getting new likes, so I might as well keep content in front of them. It's only costing me $5 a day, right? And then $70 in dark post. Now, this is a huge advantage that you guys have because this is an unwritten rule with Facebook, and I will do a webinar probably in a week or so of the unwritten rules of Facebook, which is Facebook wants you to have feel-good stories. So any stories that you could tell, you can't say anything that makes someone feel bad. Do you live in Austin? Are you 35, single, overweight, and lonely? They don't want any kind of ads like that, right? Here's the most interesting thing, though. Because I know, Ryan, that you know people in the health and wellness niche, and I do as well, too, that get their account shut down. That was one of the questions. When Facebook shuts down your account, it is a manual process. It's not automated. Here's the kicker. Facebook will respond one time back to you with what they call a CR, canned response. I spent 90 minutes with the global compliance guys talking about this. They'll send you one canned response. If Facebook does not like your offer, does not like your product, they don't want you as an advertiser on their platform, here's what they do. They're like a 14-year-old girl. They will never reply back to you. So someone asked me, how do I get an account back? Well, you change your landing page and a bunch of other stuff and try it again. But Facebook has told me, Curt, all clients that start with you have to have a new ad account created by you because it can adversely affect my WOI. They wouldn't tell us what the acronym is, but Facebook has a quality score. If you're posting positive, motivational posts, doesn't have to be motivational, but positive, good, feel-good stories, you're going to do really well. Don't post anything that calls any out. Someone asked me in one of the questions, Curt, how do we target people with a health ailment? You can't. That would be illegal. Lots of HIPAA laws around that and everything else. Facebook doesn't allow you to target people that have joint pain. However, if you have a picture of a grandmother running with the grandchild and say, it's so amazing on how well I'm able to keep up with my grandchild. Just after just a couple of weeks, it's been amazing. Click over to the page. As long as there's no claims, you got to remember, Facebook is automatically approving ads and then by the language used in the ad, but they shut them off manually. If there's any claims that they can't verify, if there's any hype they can't verify, they shut the ad down, sometimes the account, and they do not reply to customer service inquiries. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you do something wrong,
it's really about taking something where you're, saying, how to generate $5,000 a day, blah 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 blah, changing it from that angle to the 4 steps you need to set up your first campaign.
Yeah. Or
so no claim.
Or for instance,
Go ahead.
The blogging client that we have. This is going to be funny because most people, there's another question in the questions that says, how often do I have to update my ads? We have a client that we target. I'm going to show you the example here in a second, that we target. And it says, learn how Kim generated a blog of over 30,000 followers in 18 months as a stay-at-home mom with 4 kids. That ad is run for 14 months. Same image,
Wow.
Same picture, same copy. Facebook loves that ad.
Wow.
Other ads we have to refresh every 3 or 4 days. So this client, they're like, Curt, you seem to do a lot of work and do really well for us. Well, same ad. That's fine. And then here's the other thing. So to run through this really quick, because I'm a little tight on time, there's a couple of quick examples I want to show you. So like campaign engagement, maybe. Dark post I'm always running that's going to go directly to my offer lander. Now I'm going to retarget people with some kind of social proof of a testimonial. I like testimonial videos. They could just be a picture and a story. People love to hear stories of other people doing it. I do a rapport building video. Again, this can be something shot off your iPhone or something very, very simple. It doesn't have to be high end, or go to that fancy site called Fiverr and have someone put a little branding on your video. But if your face can follow people around where you give them a little educational point, or they tour your office or get to know someone, that rapport building that we're seeing is just a huge difference. And then what I do is I actually have a video sales letter for one of our products, Social Media Ad Genius. And what I've done is I just took that 45-minute sale. I took that 45-minute battery. Sorry, my battery warning came up. I take that 45-minute VSL and I divide it into lead pages into 4 separate videos. So it's me standing by a dry erase board with 4 separate small videos. So imagine I have an offer that has a 45-minute video. People see that. Once they see it, they're going to be retargeted with, here's a testimonial, here's Curt walking through the office, here's here's 4 additional videos broken down. It's the same information, just presented in a different way. We've seen our buys really increase because people are getting multiple exposures from multiple touch points. And from that, we're seeing a more loyal database and better buys. So my cost per click may go up a little bit. My cost per acquisition may be going up a little bit. But my revenue per acquisition is really going up a lot. Does that make sense? Now,
Yeah, so on the 4 video funnel, just so I'm clear, the 4 video funnel, that's a VSL that you've cut into 4 pieces that you're just exposing to people who match your target demographic, but there's no call to action on it. Really what you just want them to do is to consume that content, and then at the same time, you're running parallel advertising to your dark posts, which would be a direct call to maybe that specific offer that you're talking about in those videos. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it's pretty accurate. Basically, what
Finish
it
your
is
go back. I don't want to.
basically the VSL is 45 minutes long, so it's a typical VSL where it has the white background, black letters. And what I did is, instead of 45 minutes, is I just sat next to a dry erase board and told my buddy, let's film 4 videos where I'm going to walk through what that VSL basically says. And I just drew it on the dry erase board. So it's pretty much the same information. But what happens is Lead Pages has a page that says, here are 4 videos. So to the person, it doesn't look like they have to opt in because they hit my landing page. Then they're getting retargeted with this. Well, let me click on this, see what it is. 4 free videos. They watch one video, click the next, click the next. On the 4th video, there's a buy button down below. And what I'll actually do is I'll actually retarget this 4 video funnel. Hey, upcoming webinar with Curt Maly. Check out the pre-training before the webinar. They'll download a workbook. They'll watch these 4 videos. I have people buy before they get on the webinar. So
Smart.
And then my other
really cool.
The other tip I'm going to give you for retargeting, I don't know why, but this line always works for us. Today is the day it all changes for you. ... Today is the day you become fill in the blank of your product and service. It's just a simple ad, but that's what you're doing for retargeting, right? So the main goal is this, is to get as many people as possible to pass through these pixels, right? So, by the way, I like to share these. So here's how we got 53,000 leads, all under 20 cents, right? Here's basically what the ad looked like. I don't show this to anybody else, so please don't show it to anybody else. But here's the most important thing about this entire thing that we go through, right here. Most people don't catch it when I show them this. So I am targeting people who are 30-year-old older, females in the United States, right? Pretty wide target. But I'm also targeting the people who look like the opt-ins. So I'm saying, Facebook, go out and target as many people as you possibly can who are 30 years plus who are female, anywhere in the US. But only target the people who look like the opt-ins that we've received so far. Okay? So what happens is that pixel is now helping us really define our traffic. Okay? So here's 12,000 leads in under 30 days. Simple quiz. Just like I know that you teach, right? Very, very, very simple. These are really quite easy. People just really want to see the results. I mean, I don't have to tell you that. Here's the other, let's see here. There's 1,700 leads. Ryan, you're going to laugh at this. I showed you this at a mastermind because I was so blown away. And I'm like, you heard about this survey funnel? And Ryan's like, yeah, I've heard about it. And I go, no, watch this. And he's like, yeah, I know, I've seen it. I go, no, watch this. I'm like, look, this guy's like, what shape are you like? Let's ask lots of different questions. Does mommy love you? Did daddy give you a hug? Did uncle buy you a pony? Like, there's lots of questions. Lots. Again, not following your process at all, but they're under dollar leads. So, I mean, people are killing it on surveys. And here's the blog client. By the way, remember that blogging client that I said it was really expensive? We were running at a loss leader. All we did is turned it on to optimize for conversions and look like a lookalike audience. I'm going to show you where to hit those buttons here in a second as we wrap this up. But watch this. Here's a head trip. Ryan, can you tell me how much I spent right there?
$6,772.
Okay. Can you tell me what the frequency was?
2.81.
Yep.
One.
So just to be clear, frequency is how often someone's going to see my ads for whatever the reporting period is. So from March to April, the average person saw my ad 2.81 times. It's really not that much, okay? And we reached 124,000 people. Do you see that on your end?
Yep.
Good. Okay. And I always go through the numbers again. Now check this out. Here's that thing that I told you about. 18 months ago, I didn't even know what a blog was. This is Kim that I said we've been running for the last 14, 15 months, right? That's what the image looks like. That's the story. Now look at this.
Yeah.
How many people are we targeting?
18,000. Wow, that's nothing.
How do we target 18,000 people, but we reached over 124,000, right? Here's what happens. It's because I said, Facebook, go target, you're going to love this. Facebook, go target this interest, which of course I can't reveal, because this interest spends money on Facebook every single day to promote her brand. So I said, Facebook, go follow this person who's already spending money on ads and make sure that you're going after our lookalike audience of the people who bought on Facebook. That's what this arrow is. I'll take away right there. So Facebook, target this person who's spending money on ads. The story works real well. And from targeting this person in ads, we're going to go to the custom audience of the Facebook lookalike. So here's the way that this works. By the way, when you do the conversion layering strategy that I'm going to show you here, this is where, like I mentioned before, is, hey, look, we're running the exact same ads, same creative, same target, same keyword. We pay $122 a sale. The client makes money at $150 a sale, so he's making money. We literally hit this overlay button, one button I'll show you here in a second, drop that ad cost. I mean, under half, right?
Right.
Just killing it. We show people here, here's same ad, same target. But what we do is we're targeting people throughout the US who look like our buyers, and that's what brings the cost down. So let me show you this real quick. We're going to run through. I'm going to go. Now, usually I block this part out, so you're just going to have to bear with me for a minute. See, there's my employment ad that we're retargeting. You'll see very quickly.
I've seen that ad. I've seen that ad before.
Yeah. I had 2 people yesterday. Like, damn, dude, you're always following me around. Like, that's what we're supposed to do. Okay. Now, let me show you this. So, real quick, I realize that I'm in this space, so I should lead by example. I don't update my Facebook personal page that much, but let me show you. Facebook will pull up here in a second. Okay. I'm going to go to Social Media Ad Genius to show you what we do on the fan page for content. So on the fan page for content, really quite simple. I mean, we just give people information that's going to help their business, right? I have an assistant who will go out and she'll find relevant articles. Okay, great. Well, what we found, for example, is here's one tool. Okay, so we found that tool works, so that goes back to our blog. And I don't mind if I share other people's blogs or send people other places. That's fine too. As I keep on going down, I didn't post the purple rain. That's not my fault. Should I buy likes? Here's another example because people really like that we promoted. And then the one right below this. Just a moment. Target. Come on. I'm going to try to log out of 2 things here real quick. This is pretty important to show you. Oh, that's right. Our server's down. I forgot about that. That was interesting. All right. Right here. Breaking news. So what happens is we run breaking news stuff. I'll show you what that means here in a second. I'll pull up. So Facebook recently made a change where you can actually schedule your ads hour by hour. So you don't have to be an expert in your market to be the first person to come to news in your market about it. Right? So what we basically did was this. We set up, yeah, unfortunately that's crashed. Okay. So this is a really quick video that I hacked together. That's it. Like I literally used Movie Maker, or what is it, Movie Maker ScreenFlow, added this little button in there, and that's pretty much it, right? But people loved our content, so we said, hey, look, there's this new thing called Facebook ad scheduling. We're going to show you exactly how it works. Just go watch the next video. And we give them a little tip. They get one tip, but they don't know exactly how to implement it until they go watch the video. So now what Facebook has is at the end of the video, this is something brand new that they just put in. You get this in the Power Editor, so you watch more. they can click and it'll go directly to our site, right?
Nice.
This click goes directly to our site, or it goes directly to our site by clicking this right here, right? By clicking the link in the description. Now, unfortunately, the site's down, but what would happen is we would be sending people to our website to read the article, but on the article, we would retarget people. Download this for your Chrome extension, Pixel Helper. Pixel Helper. So what I'm doing is I'm attracting likes. I am doing a post-page engagement to the popular articles. The articles are on my blog. I am retargeting anyone who goes to my blog because they're obviously interested in my content. I'll retarget them.
Are you using the Facebook retargeting pixel, or using Perfect Audience to be able to retarget on the display? Facebook, okay.
Yeah. So run Facebook retargeting. Perfect Audience would work perfect as well too. I didn't realize this when I first set up Perfect Audience. I didn't have a blog. All I had was a lead page. So when I set up Perfect Audience, they're like, your website's not compliant. And I'm like, oh, I should look at it. Then I didn't realize that they blacklisted your URL if they deny you.
Right.
So unequivocally, get all your stuff set up first, read the terms of use, then set up Perfect Audience.
Interesting. So any lead pages, just because lead pages itself is blacklisted, is just an automatic denial. It doesn't matter if you put all your...
So lead pages does have one page that's Google compliant. And basically that's what your page has to look like for Perfect Audience. But I didn't have a full website, so I was just sending people to a lander. So when I said, oh, retarget this lander, Perfect Audience looked at my link and they're like, you don't have anything but a lander. I'm like, and? They're like, no. So make sure you read over terms of use.
I know, right? Yeah.
Really important. Okay.
This is, okay, keep going.
So we have our link here, right? They click on over. So now what I'm doing is I got people on my fan page. I'm getting likes. I'm doing my engagement. Anybody who sees my blog, I'm going to retarget them with just a little bit different ad, right? Now you may be wondering, where do I set all this stuff up? Okay, let me show you. See, what happens is here's your audience insights, right? We logged right on in. Again, you can go right-hand side right here, manage ads, get right into your ad manager. Okay? Got your audience insights. Reports are really good. Reports will break down age and gender and stuff like that as well too. Now, here's the thing. Conversion tracking. This is very, very, very easy. It's conversion tracking and audiences is the two ones you're really going to use most. So conversion tracking. Pull up here in just a moment. Here's what we do. So you can create a pixel. Great. Name it whatever you want to name it. If it goes to a landing page, you just want to get a bunch of people to the landing page, does it go to a thank you opt-in? Does it go to your third survey question? Whatever. You name it whatever you want. You put it wherever you want. These are just the suggestions of what the category is. Okay? Once you get 100 people to pass that pixel, so for instance, this is, say right here, get 100 people to pass the pixel, right? Well, now what you can do is you can create a lookalike audience of your buyers. So everybody who's passed through this pixel, let's create a lookalike audience. Now, if we're going to do...
But we would start with, just to clarify, we would start with people who just land on the landing page as our first audience, correct?
Correct. Exactly right. So we put a cookie, we put a pixel throughout the entire process. Different one. Right?
Yep.
So what's going to happen is now as I can create a lookalike audience. Okay?
Right.
The lookalike audience is the most powerful. So let's take a look at audience. So again, pixels are, where am I going to put them throughout my funnel, right? To track sales or actions. Now, let's go to audiences. So create an audience. So I'm either going to upload a phone number, email address, or I'm going to put a pixel on my website. Now, I'm not going to go into this too much, but what happens is you pretty much get one pixel code for Facebook for retargeting. And you tell Facebook what you want it to do with it. So you can retarget people up to 180 days where they can land on a certain page, then see a certain ad, okay? You can say, if people go to this page, but don't go here, show this ad. Some people in e-commerce will set up, if people see this product, send them this ad for the next 10 days. But if they see these products, show them for 10 days. Like, that's complicated. It's a lot of work. That's the best way to say it for myself. It's a lot of work. So what we do is we just put the pixel in 180 days. We put one on our blog. We put one on our landing page. We put one on our VSL. We put one on our thank you opt-in and our buy. So I think we have like 5 pixels. And if we do, let's say you and I do a webinar where we're offering each other's product. Well, I'll just take my opt-in pixel that I've always run to opt in my stuff, and I just put it on your thank you page. and then we just
Mm-hmm.
run paid traffic to the webinar. So we can, if
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for a social media ad genius opt-in, I don't care if it's for a webinar, if it's for a VSL, like I don't care. I can use that same opt-in, right?
Got it.
It's only if I want to track very specific events, like someone who buys coaching versus buying the product, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, here's where the power comes in. See, what's going to happen is, let's just say, who do I have? Let me go back to conversion, which is right here. And then we'll wrap this up. I know we're a little over on time. Now, for the conversion pixel, is when you hit on the conversion pixel, when you create this lookalike audience, right? By the way, you can actually, you're gonna love this. If you're in a launch or you have affiliates, you can share the pixel with other people. You just have to put in their ad account, right? So pixel that you have on your thank you page, you can give them to an affiliate and say, if you're gonna run Facebook ads, just optimize for the ads. Now watch this. This is Traffic Genesis, another program out there. I cannot create a lookalike audience or share the pixel if someone shared the pixel to me. So if you have affiliates and you're like, hey, look, I got a conversion pixel that you can optimize for your traffic. You can just run traffic to. I've done all the work. They can't do anything with it except send traffic. So what's awesome is you can share the pixel, but when you create a lookalike audience, see, look at this. Actions, create lookalike audience. It's going to find out, okay, did 100 people pass this point? And it's going to create an audience per country. So I have to have 100 buyers in the US before I can create a lookalike audience. Facebook will update this lookalike every 5 days. So you don't have to do anything. It's always learning as long as you have that momentum, right? So now watch this. Here's where the rubber really meets the road. So here's our ads, right? So for instance, here's a testimonial. Here's another testimonial. Here is we're hiring. There's warm market. And then let's go to, show you one of the last. There we go. Okay. So here's what's going to happen. Anybody who lands on my landing page because they opted in, they're going to get a success story. That's it. Like, it's a short success story. It's a video. Again, I put this together with PowerPoint and then Movie Maker. Like, it took me no more than 20 minutes to put it together, right? I'm just getting social proof over and over and over. So you want to think about your retargeting. What do you want your avatar to see once they've landed on a specific page, right? It's just another testimonial. The same strategy that you can use for your product to get people to your landing page can be the exact same strategy that we use for here, for example. This is an employment ad. Anybody who is, look at this. I'm retargeting anybody who's pretty much touched any of our funnel ever in Austin that's age 21 to 50.
Right.
And they're just seeing the ad over and over and over, right? So Facebook scheduling, warm market. So again, remember how I was talking about the article that I had? So here's the article that we were sending people to for the breaking news. I am just retargeting. I retarget people in the following 3 ways. I target my buyers first because they have a higher probability of buying and they deserve the information first.
Yep.
The second round, I target anybody who opted in or landed on any thank you pages from a webinar or anything else. And the third thing is I target anybody who landed on the landing page but didn't opt in. It's 3 different markets. Right? So I'm just seeing which one works best. Now, here's where the rubber really meets the road. Let me see if this one will pull up for me. No, I'm going to pull up one other example for you. VSL, right here. Yeah, this is it. So now you're going to see here, let's see here, results, got 107 conversions, $3 a lead, maxed out spend, but let me show you what this looks like. I ran this ad, free training, see the 7 genius Facebook ad tricks I've learned from running over $2 million in Facebook ads, right? But what I'm targeting is, let's see this pull up. This should get everybody a big aha. So what I'm targeting is this right here. I'm targeting affiliate marketing. There's 3.3 million people there. Okay? Now look, there's only 40,000. Explain why in a second. I'm going to come up to my custom audiences. These are my lookalike audience. This is my lookalike Facebook leads. These are my
Right.
lookalike buyers. And I've excluded because I don't want my buyers to keep on seeing ads to buy, right?
Right.
So look at this. If I target 35-year-old plus in the United States for affiliate marketing, I am going to target 158,000 people. Okay, great. So that's cold market 158,000. Now I'm going to say, okay, but out of that 158,000, I only want you to target people who look like my opt-ins. So look like my Facebook leads that I get, my lookalike buyer. So lookalike buyers, and then I'm going to type in buyers. Click on that, and there's a little button next to it right here. Exclude this audience. Now watch. That 155,000, if I can get it to scroll down, is now 40,000 of the purest audience that I can target. This is what we call layering the pixel. We've gotten enough pixels to get us enough audiences to say, Facebook, go out and find me similar audiences. I type in my keyword, it drops my audience. But this is how we can target an audience of only 18,000 people and spend $6,000.
Right.
Because we're chasing the perfect audience.
So I just want to make sure that one thing is clear, because I think it's finally coming to clarity in my own mind, and I think it might be something that people might be wondering about, which is there are 2 pixels that you showed us how to set up.
Mm-hmm.
The second one that you showed us to set up is the retargeting pixel. That one is essentially universal in the sense that we're cooking people for retargeting no matter what page they're on, and that's just one pixel essentially, correct?
Yep.
And then you've got the custom audience pixel, which is a pixel that you say create new audience essentially, and that's different for every step in your funnel. So you're creating a new pixel for your landing page. You upload the code that Facebook gives you to your landing page in the appropriate place. Then that's one thing. Then the next thing is maybe post opt-in. So after someone opts in to through your survey funnel or whatever, that's a second audience that you've set up in Facebook through the pixel, and that's separate. You label them as such. And the retargeting pixel would be put on both of those pages as well as any other pages in your funnel. Is that correct, or did I miss? Okay. This is awesome. I mean, this is like my head is spinning right now with things that I'm not doing. That last time that you and I hung out at one of our masterminds, I took notes and said, I'm gonna rush to my office and implement this stuff, and then alas, some day-to-day stuff gets in the way, and then I've half implemented this. But this is it, guys. I mean, like, this is the answer right here.
So real quick, if you already have a list, you're at a huge advantage. I'll tell you this just real quick from our 7- and 8-figure clients. We say, look, give us your list so we can look at your avatar. And Ryan, I'm sure you probably hear the same thing. They're like, we already knew who our exact customer is. I know. Right. Just give me your list so I can take a look. Right? Yeah. And then we say, we want to market to your buyers. It's so funny because the ego gets in the way of some clients. They're like, why would you market to our buyers? We want to market a cold market. I go, look. Right. Let's figure some book, like $7 or something, that we're going to market to your buyers. Because if I can put the conversion pixel in place and I can advertise to your buyers on Facebook and your buyers pass through that conversion pixel, right? Facebook's only going to find the purest traffic. Why would I target somebody cold to hope that they buy? Why not only target the people that we know that will buy and then open up your pixel to the rest of the market? Like we tell clients all the time, look, we just have to get to that 100 mark. Once we do, you'll see everything change. That should be your number one goal. Get to that 100 mark on your conversion pixel so you can really start to optimize traffic.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing in my mind is it's take your best audience, whatever that is, ideally buyers, and ideally buyers of multiple products if you are able to segment like that. Find those people, identify who they are, and then let Facebook's lookalike algorithm do its magic. Yep. And the purer that initial audience that you can get, the better. So use whatever you have. So if it's a list of buyers of multiple products, start there. If it's a list of buyers of one product, then start there. If it's a list of people who have opted in, start there. And if it's a list of people who, I guess that's probably the most basic list you might have, would be an opt-in list. But just start with whatever the best list that you personally have is, and then use that as your starting point. I mean, this is it, guys. Like this is the thing. So one thing that you brought up in a mastermind that you didn't we didn't touch on here, but I'm just curious to clarify this one point. So we do the custom audience pixels on each step in our funnel, and let's pretend for a moment there are basically there are 3 pixels. One is on opt-in page, one is on opt-in thank you page, and then one is on product thank you page.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've got clicks, leads, customers. Those are the 3 things.
Mm-hmm.
So initially, because imagine we don't have an audience at all. We're starting from scratch. We're optimizing for clicks because that's going to be the fastest way for us to get to that number of 100. We get that list of 100 clicks, and we say, all right, Facebook, we want you to go after lookalike traffic based on people who have clicked on this ad. That refines the focus, the first step.
Mm-hmm.
They do that. Then the next thing that you do is the goal there is to get 100 leads. So you get 100 leads, you say, all right, Facebook, I no longer want you to target clicks. Instead, I only want you to target people who have opted in, leads. And Facebook says, okay, we'll create a custom audience like that. Your retargeting has refined even further. The goal with that is purely to generate 100 buyers. And then there you do the 100 buyers and you do the same thing. Now, when you've gone through this progression, the specific kind of nugget that I wanted to get clarification on is once you've gone past the click optimization phase to the lead optimization phase, are you removing the click pixel off your landing page, or is that irrelevant? You don't need to worry about that.
So yeah, you don't need to worry about it. Just leave it there.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
I would tell people where I would say, look, I used to tell people put a conversion pixel on your landing page. So you can say, you know what, Facebook, just send people to my landing page, right? And you can create a custom audience out of it. Now,
Right.
if you're getting opt-ins for like $30 an opt-in, put a conversion pixel on your landing page so you can at least say, Facebook, go find out people on the landing page, right?
Right.
However, if you if you're getting opt-ins for $4, $5, $6, send as much traffic as you can just to what you see on the screen now is clicks to website. And then once you've got it to the website conversions, by the way, here's where in Power Editor, of course, this is where you can do video views and everything else. But once you have the website conversions, you're only going to optimize website conversions. Now, if I changed my funnel around a little bit and it was still going to the same thank you page, just use website conversions. It was only if I was going to test out a brand new funnel that I would run website clicks to. Now, one other thing to keep in mind is when I run retargeting, I'm either going to do post-page engagement because I just want that ad to be seen over and over and over and over, or I'll target website clicks because I just want people to click back to the site and buy. I do not use website conversions on retargeting.
Right.
Okay.
Very, very interesting.
Yep.
No, this is very interesting. Is there a way to retarget people to Facebook through email using the Facebook retargeting feature, or do you need to use Perfect Audience for that?
You need to use Perfect Audience for that.
Perfect Audience.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then one last thing to show people when you're just doing the conversion pixel and you go into Power Editor, here's what's going to happen here, just really quick. By the way, 2 new things. I'm performing videos in this. I don't even know if you saw this yet, Ryan. Look at this. They have a partner program now in mobile. So newsfeed on mobile must be enabled to show in your partner mobile. So they actually have just like Google. They have. I can't. It won't show right here, but they actually have. It's right here. It's too bad it's not showing it. They actually have where the ad's going to be served at. They're starting out with partner networks now. So here's what I do. If we optimize per conversion, I just leave it at optimize CPM. That just means Facebook, go out and find me for up to $30 in action. Just go out and find me leads. Like, I don't care about the cost. Like, you're not going to get $30 leads. Just go out and find them, and they'll start optimizing for them. If I'm not getting my conversion pixel to fire, I may say, Facebook, I'm willing to pay $100 per sale for my $200 product, right? Maximum per click, I'll pay $2 a click because all I want Facebook to do is just send me a bunch of clicks, right? Because it's starting that funnel out. Now, when my ads are up and running and it's just optimizing for a conversion, I come back in here and I change it to 0. So if your ads are not running, this is priming the pump like you prime a lawnmower pump. You prime the pump, gets the clicks going, your pixel's been firing, type in and run and optimize for either opt-ins or buys, whatever serves you best.
Right, right. And this particular screen you're looking at now, this one's an optimized for clicks, or this is optimized for website conversions?
That's a
Website
really good
conversions,
question.
correct?
So what happens is when it says optimized, right? Well, it's optimized
Yep.
for whatever set the campaign level. So if I go to the campaign level, this would be optimized for website clicks.
Got it. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Dude, every time I hear you talk, my head is like spinning. You always blow me away, and this is why I'm so excited to have you on here because I feel like you're like everybody else who's doing Facebook is like operating at this level, and it's like you and maybe one or two other guys doing it differently, but you just operate at a whole different plane. So,
It,
um, I guess let's. This is awesome. If you have like maybe like 2 more minutes
yeah.
before we wrap, if we could maybe just go through any questions that have come through. So
Mhm.
one of the questions that people, and then I'd like for you to just take a minute to tell us a little bit more about how we can learn more from you, what options you have for potentially working. Hiring your firm to do this for us, to learn more from you, various options that you have available, and how we can learn more about what those are. But before we dive into that, I'm just looking at the questions that have come through. One question I know from a while back that we didn't touch on is, and I'm looking for it. Was from Robert. It was around. Um, Okay, I think the question was related to two questions. One was, how are the drug companies advertising clinical trials on Facebook? And I think this was back to when we were saying you cannot target specific medical conditions. I'm guessing, and you, Curt, please, feel free to fill this in. I'm guessing that what the ad companies are doing are probably targeting either interests or pages that people have liked. So if, for example, if someone likes a joint pain supplement page, they would be a good candidate for a medical study around, some joint, reconstructive surgery or something like that. So you can't target someone based on the medical condition, but you can target based on their like profile. So that's the first question. Now, if you can comment on that, I'm going to look for the second question. Um,
Yeah, I mean the thing is what it probably comes down to. Let me just show you here real quick. What it
mhm,
probably comes down to is this: is these are in partner categories. So inside of Facebook Power Editor, these are the offsite conversions. Excuse me. If I target audience,
mhm,
come on down here. Here's interests, right? What are they interested in? Here's behaviors. So you could figure out their
mhm,
age demographic, residential profiles as well too. Or you come on down here to what we were talking about before is this is demographics, family makeup, or education, right? So there's new
right,
parents, there's home that probably wouldn't be involved. You kind of click through because these change all the time. Lifestyles, affluent baby boomers, right? That's a the
right,
expensive market, but does really well. There's no way to actually. It's kind of like commercial advertising, like on TV. So it's not that you're targeting people that have a specific ailment, but you're targeting people who would have a high probability of being that age that may have that ailment.
right,
So I would have to see
right,
what the ad is looks directly from Facebook on how other clinical trials are being promoted. It's all in the
right.
language, the image that you use, in the landing page, all of them.
No, it makes perfect sense. What's the first thing that you test, Curt, when you're starting a new campaign? Are you testing headline? Are you testing image? Are you testing um, uh, you know just overall post creative where you're doing the spaghetti on the wall thing and seeing which overall concept works well? Just can you just maybe spend 30 seconds briefly talking about what you test?
So basically, what we do is we really try, like for a client, for example, is we really define their avatar, right? And then from
Mhm,
there is we figure out some emotional hooks. So we write headlines. We write 10 to 15 headlines that would be an emotional hook.
mhm,
And from those headlines, that's where we come up with the pictures. We'll come up with 10 to
mhm.
15 pictures, and then we'll come up with like 5 keywords. Now, depending on your
Okay.
budget, if you're testing 10 headlines with 10 different pictures and two different keywords, like you could spend a lot of money to spend $5 a
Yeah.
day, right? So we take the ones that we like best. What is the best headline that we like with what's the best picture? And literally in that order. Okay, from
Mhm,
there, do we need to add any other content to the post? All right, let's try advertising that post. We're going to split test it between desktop, mobile, right hand side. Let's set that up with one keyword. So we'll typically test one image, one headline with maybe 3 keywords. And we're
mhm,
always looking for a control. So what we do is
mhm.
what we call generational testing. Generation one, here's what we think will work. Let's do a slight little tweak and relaunch that ad. That's generation two. So we're always trying to find a control. There's no right or wrong numbers. Maybe it's a $20 opt-in. I don't know. But then we
Mm-hmm.
run another campaign. We try to beat $20. So headline, picture, keyword, test, establish control, and then start monitoring your headline and pictures. Change those out. See if you can get your cost per lead down just a little bit or cost per sale, and then expand out on keywords. But if you try to do too much at once, it makes Facebook go crazy. And most people try to do 30 things at once and only want to spend $30. Can't
Right.
quantify anything off $1 an ad.
Right, right. So just to clarify, you take one combination of those three elements,
Mm-hmm.
keyword, copy, and image,
Mm-hmm.
and then you'll run it, get a baseline,
Mm-hmm.
and then you'll test an entirely new combination of three new elements, or you'll just create a variance on one of those elements. So same photo, same keyword, but
Mm-hmm.
new headline.
Small
Which
variance.
of the two?
Small
Okay.
variance. Because what I want to do at the end of the day is I want to keep running traffic always. So I want to make sure that one's up and running. That's my control. But I want to leave that one running when I'm split testing some other stuff. I'm never turning down any ads. Only if I
Mm-hmm.
beat the control will I turn it down. But my control is always, always, always running.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. And what do you, from a budget standpoint, someone who's, doesn't have unlimited pockets, would you recommend starting with $100 a day? Is it possible to start with less than that,
Yeah,
or
you can
any less than
start.
that? It just,
I mean, at the end of the day, what you're looking for is quantifiable data and how fast do you want to
yeah,
get it. You can spend
right,
$20 a day and over the course of 5 days get 100 clicks to your lander. And let's just say you have a 10% opt-in, you get 10 opt-ins. Well, 10
right,
opt-ins aren't necessarily going to buy you, or less going to buy unless you have a high close rate of 10%. So at
right.
the end of the day, as people ask me, I had a client the other day where I just kind of wanted to smack him. Very, very popular individual too. He's like, Curt, I don't want to spend $10,000 and not learn anything. And I don't know, I don't want to say the guy's name, but I'm like, look, we found out that live webinars don't work for you. We found out recorded webinars do work for you. We found out we got 100 buyers from you. You're now, after 3 weeks, you're profitable. We've learned a lot. And then Ryan, that's when I saw everything happens for a reason. That's when I saw your post about business owners. And I repeated it back to him. And he's like, but Curt, I just don't want to spend, 10 grand and not learn anything. And I go, we've already consulted you about your funnel. We've told you about your funnel. We're making you money. And I always like to use this word specifically. What are you referring to when you said you don't know if you're not going to learn anything? You're making money.
Right.
He's like, you know what, Curt, I really like you guys. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell this kid's issue is, but
That's funny. People get scared when they start spending money, I think is what it is.
what's interesting, I'll say
Yeah,
this real
man.
quick, is people are scared to invest money in themselves usually. And investing money in themselves is the same thing with their funnel here. I mean, you know that you deal with it all the time. It's just you're making an investment for your business. This is a business, not a hobby.
Right, right. It's a different scale is what it is. Spend $10,000 on on video games is just a completely different mindset. $10,000 in your business, it's very different.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
no, you're totally right, man. Before we find out how to learn more about you, is there anything that we should have touched on today? I'm just mindful. I know there's some additional questions that we probably won't have a chance to get to. We're kind of 5 minutes past the mark that I asked Curt to set aside for his time. He's already gone beyond that. Is there anything else that we should have touched on or brought up that we haven't brought up before we kind of wind things down?
It's really the whole momentum thing that I mentioned before. Always keep running traffic. The other thing is, don't ever give up. Lots of people are like, what am I gaining? And I mean, you're gaining data and knowledge. Like, I love it when people say this. People are like, Curt, you don't understand being a guru and all the money you make with all the clients. And I'm like, look, I remember laying on my couch, broke as shit. Oh, sorry. But didn't have any money. Didn't
You
know
can
what my
swear.
option was. Thank you. Didn't know what my options were. I didn't know what I was going to do. Now, I was lucky enough because we have the internet marketing party where I can meet other people like yourself. It's like, they're doing it. But the whole
Right.
thing is when someone's like, Curt, you don't understand. I don't have any money. I'm like, oh, I absolutely understand. But what's really, really, really interesting is this. When I didn't have any money, spending $100 on ads was, oh my God, like that was taking food out of my mouth. Now, and I know that you know this, Ryan, now it's just numbers. I
Yep.
put in $1 to make $2. I have no emotional attachment to it. And I'll tell you, having no emotional attachment and just looking at my numbers as data and treating it as a business, my business is hockey sticked. I mean, it's grown huge. But when I was so
Yep.
scared to lose, not
Yep.
scared to invest, it was just different. And I was telling somebody, my partners were the other day, they go, this was actually last month. By the way, since I lost everything in real estate, we only deal with cash. We have a credit card now that we get airline miles on. But they're
Mhm.
like, did you know how much you spent on ads last month, Curt? And I'm like, no idea. Because again, it's cash. It comes in and we have to replenish it by selling. So we have to be
Right.
good at conversions, right?
Right.
It was close to $50,000 cash out of our bank account. Like there's no credit lines or
Right.
anything, but we obviously
Right.
had to make a lot more than 50 if we're doing that. But what's interesting is when you
Right.
spend 100 and $102 come back in, it's just
Right.
numbers. So treat your
Yep.
business as numbers.
Yep.
And if you remove that emotional aspect from it, I know it's a little hard to do at first. Just watch your numbers. Don't ever think that you
Yep.
spent $200 and you screwed something up. You learned what to successfully never do again,
Yep.
or how you're going to scale. But that's the whole
Yep.
thing. Just pay attention to the numbers.
It's so true. I can't tell you how many mistakes I've made along the way. Just stupid things like messing up a link when doing a webinar and like all the lost sales. Like those memories stick in my head so clearly now that whenever I am in that same situation, I'm damn sure not to make that same mistake.
Yeah.
And you have to go through those growing pains. And they still happen now. I mean, I'm sure every single week you find something, and the same thing here
It's a learning
with me as
experience.
well. So
Yeah.
totally, man. So how do we get more of Curt? How do we learn more from you? How do we work with you potentially? Can you talk about, the different ways to get into your world?
I really have three different options, and you can just send an email to Ashley, and I can follow up. So my assistant, her name is Ashley, Ashley, at blackboxsocialmedia.com. Again, that's Ashley at blackboxsocialmedia.com. We have three options. We make it really easy. Option number one is 100% do it yourself. We, of course, have a course called Social Media Ad Genius. I'd be happy to hook you up there with a couple of bonuses as well, too, if we want to do that, just for being on the live call. But
Cool.
Social Media Ad Genius, 100% do it yourself. Everything that we talked about, we document everything. We have a full community. So I don't like to say, hey, buy the product. It's a community with a Facebook group, a Skype group. Everybody's learning together. I love that. So that's the first thing. The second thing we have is something that we call Jumpstart. Jumpstart is actually for people who've just kind of designed their funnels, but they want to understand about this Facebook marketing thing. They got some auto follow-up emails. We put people through a 6-week course, is that we take them from literally learning how to just kind of set everything up to really implementing so they can leave on their own. I tell people it's like going to a trade school for 6 weeks. Like once you know how to run, I mean, you know this for funnels. Once you know how to run a funnel, how to run conversions or run traffic, you'll never be out of business. Local
Right.
businesses, your dentist will be like, I can do a survey for
Yep.
dental implants. And you're like, I guess you
Exactly.
can, just, right?
Yeah.
It just applies to anything.
Yeah.
And then the third thing we do is we bring people in the agency. Now, typically people that have a funnel, we like to say, that are in momentum, they can come with the agency. Typically what we have people do is we have people test a minimum of $10,000 in ad spend to come to the agency. And the agency fee to test $10,000 is $5,000 for the first month. I know that can get expensive. That's $15,000 to start out, right? And that can get expensive. So what we've done is we've set up a 4-week, what we call an onboarding process. And again, I can have you fill out a survey. We can go over this. There you go, fill out a survey, right? What it actually is it helps us understand more about your business. But what we do is we take people through a 4-week onboarding process. And what that is what I would do in the agency anyway. Are your pixels are in place? Did we look at your audience? Week 1, week 2, let's start getting ads up. Let's make sure that they're Facebook compliant, even though Facebook doesn't have written rules on their compliance like that we need to talk about and go over. And then we start the ad creative and we start running. Now, to do that, it's $4,000 for 4 weeks, but then our agency is going to run everything for $2,000 to $3,000. So it's only $7,000, right? And the way that this basically happens then is I tell everybody this, and if someone was to call me and say, look, Ryan, I'm going to give you 3 options at the end of this 4-week experience. It's really simple. You now know how to run it. You have access to my do-it-yourself product as well. Do it on your own. We've set everything up for you. We've tested. There you go. Or 2, if you want, a friend, cousin, uncle, you can hire somebody at a different price. That's fine. Hire someone else. Or 3, you can hire us directly, and we'll just scale. So what we do is we give people options that says, hey, look, you can decide whatever you want to do, but you'll never be in the position you are now, because now you either know how to inspect it, because you know what to run, you know what to look for, not necessarily what button, but you know how to manage the key performance indicators and the people. So at the end of the day, either they turn into perfect clients for us because we know how to communicate after that first 30 days, or they learn how to do it on their own. But those are people who already have a funnel and are ready to really rock and roll in their business. They just need to figure out how to work with an agency. So, and again, I'm going to be in Jamaica for the next week, so send Ashley an email. She'll set it up. And then when I get back from Jamaica, I'm happy to have a conversation or send you any short videos or anything else if you want any other information.
Dude, that's so awesome, and I think we're gonna do a webinar at some point for your actual course in the coming weeks, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, folks, if you're really into Facebook advertising, I would say stay tuned for that. That's something that's coming up. I just gotta Kurt and I just need to make time on the calendar to get that squared away.
Yep.
And if you're interested in working with someone to actually help manage your ads, like I said, I know Kurt personally. He and I are both in Austin. He's someone that we have a lot of mutual clients that do work with me, work with Kurt. We play in the same world, the same high-level world, and the people that work with Kurt just have nothing but great things to say about him. So, and his team, and I know a lot of the guys on his team as well. And it's it's a real legit solid operation. And so if you are looking for someone for help, I mean, I can't, Ashley, and hopefully, as you can tell, I mean, we tried to squeeze in like 4 hours worth of stuff in like an hour and a half here,
Yep.
so we glossed over some things.
Yep.
But I feel like this gives you at least a flavor where to get started. This wasn't like Facebook 101, like what's an ad. It was more like Facebook 201, where kind of like the next level up, and the whole idea of seasoning your pixel and building the custom audiences in the unique way that Kurt does. I mean, that right there is like I'm not expecting a pat on the back for bringing Kurt on, but I mean, listen, this is really really good stuff. So, any other questions? We'll be posting the recording in the private Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt, I'll set you up access. You can see kind of the questions that are coming through, just to satisfy your own curiosity. But any questions that come through, you can direct them there. The replay will be getting up as soon as possible.
Cool.
And just lastly, Kurt, man, super appreciate it. Really thankful that you took time to do this, because I know how busy your schedule is and how much of a wait list you have to really just work with you right now. So awesome, man. Really awesome.
Perfect. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. All right.
Have fun in Jamaica.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thanks, man. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.